In this tutorial, we will discuss how NaturaeSoft will be transitioning from ICD-9 to ICD-10. This page, the Diagnoses Admin page, is accessed under the Admin toolbar. What's important to understand is that you have two components to your diagnoses codes. All of the ICD information exists in your system, so the entire ICD-10 database will be available to you. However, you do have the ability, which is what's shown below here, to manually enter codes that you want to be able to find differently. This would be most important for a code that, say the diagnoses code, doesn't have the nomenclature within the ICD database that you would normally search with it by. This one's fairly generic, but let's say that this one does not actually say abdominal pain generalized in the ICD database. Let's say it's something a bit more abstract. However, you would normally search for it as abdominal pain. You can manually enter that code with the terminology that you would search for it, and then actually access it, based on how you would be searching for it, not on how the ICD terminology might anticipate you would. For any codes that you have manually entered into the system, the ones that have the alert symbol next to it will need to be converted to ICD-10 prior to October 1st, otherwise they will be removed from your system. To do that, we've implemented a link to the right of those diagnoses that when clicked will take you to ICD10data.com. For codes that do directly convert, you will see this one, 780 or 789.07, directly converts to R10.84. If there's not a direct conversion, you will see different options or perhaps suggestions as to a comparable ICD-10 code. To update these within your system, please note the code that you want to change it to, in this case R10.84. In the column to the right of those diagnoses, change that information to represent the code that it will then be represented as in the ICD-10 system. Once you have updated the codes that you need to, select Update at the top or the bottom of the page, and those codes will be updated. Keep in mind that from an encounter under the diagnoses for a service, you can still search other diagnoses that you may not have manually entered in the system. So in this case, we're searching for diabetes. You can see these top two are diagnoses codes that have been manually entered into the system. However, when we search or scroll lower here, we see the ICD-9 reference database showing the other applicable codes to diabetes, some of which are much more specific. This currently is showing the ICD-9 database. However, as of October 1st, these will show the ICD-10 database information codes, as well as any codes that you have updated from 9 to 10 will show prior to that list. By going through and updating your manual list or your short list codes to any updated ICD-10 conversion codes, you will maintain any of the codes that you have currently been searching through your edited or manual inputs. That transition should go smoothly, and this tutorial should answer how to update all of those codes.